When Hermès announced that Véronique Nichanian was stepping down as menswear creative director in October 2025, it marked the end of the most significant creative handover in modern luxury fashion. A 37-year reign at Hermès was ending, a tenure that surpassed even Karl Lagerfeld's legendary 36-year run at Chanel, making Nichanian the longest-serving creative director in contemporary fashion history. October 16, 2025, brought news that many thought would never come. Véronique Nichanian, the quiet architect behind Hermès Menswear for nearly 4 decades, announced her departure from the house, known for its iconic Birkin and Kelly bags. 5 days later, Hermès revealed her successor, Grace Wales Bonner, a 35-year-old British designer whose appointment would make her the first Black woman to head design at a major luxury fashion house. This is not just another creative director shuffle. This is how one woman built an empire of understated masculinity worth billions at Hermès, and how another is poised to redefine it for a new generation. When Nichanian joined Hermès in 1988, the house was completely different. The ready-to-wear division was negligible, a side note to the leather goods and silk scarves that defined the brand, while the Birkin bag was already establishing itself as the ultimate status symbol. Today, that side note generates 4.4 billion euros annually, representing 28% of Hermès' total revenue of 15.2 billion euros. Under Nichanian's stewardship, what was once an afterthought became a cornerstone of one of the world's most valuable luxury companies. Numbers only tell part of the story, though. Nichanian didn't just grow a business. She created a philosophy. She said, "To me, there is not an Hermès man, there are Hermès men." This principle guided every collection for 37 years. While other luxury houses chased trends and courted celebrities, Nichanian built something more enduring, a language of quiet confidence that spoke to men who didn't need to announce their wealth. Her journey to Hermès began in 1976 at Cerruti, where she worked under Nino Cerruti, fresh out of design school. 12 years later, Jean-Louis Dumas, Hermès' legendary chief executive officer, spotted something in the young French-Armenian designer that others had missed. He offered her the reins of a menswear division that barely existed, trusting her to build it from nothing. This was not unprecedented at Hermès. The house had previously taken bold creative risks with avant-garde designers like Martin Margiela from 1997 to 2003, and later Jean-Paul Gaultier from 2003 to 2010, establishing a tradition of unconventional appointments. What Nichanian created was revolutionary in its restraint. She pioneered techniques that sound almost contradictory: waterproofed silks, reversible leathers, crocodile skin treated until it moved like fabric. These were not showpieces for runway spectacle, they were innovations in service of the man who wore them. A pinstriped leather suit from 2003, a calfskin jumpsuit from 1991, pieces that felt as contemporary in 2025 as they did when first created. Her approach stood in stark contrast to the fashion industry's usual theatrical tendencies. While others built brands around personality cults and dramatic narratives, Nichanian remained deliberately in the background. She gave few interviews, avoided the Fashion Week social circuit, and let the clothes speak for themselves. This was not false modesty. It was strategic brilliance. As one of the few women establishing herself in menswear during the late 1980s, Nichanian faced a unique challenge. Yet she dismissed any notion that gender was an obstacle. She credits mentors, from Nino Cerruti, who hired her straight out of school, to Jean-Louis Dumas, who brought her to Hermès in 1988 for encountering intelligent men who saw a designer rather than thinking it was a woman or a man. This perspective shaped not just her career, but her design philosophy. Nichanian understood masculinity as something fluid and diverse, rather than rigid and prescriptive. Her clothes never insisted on a particular type of man. They adapted to whoever wore them, whether that was a tech billionaire in Silicon Valley or an artist in London. The financial impact of her vision became undeniable over time. When Hermès reported its 2024 results, the ready-to-wear and accessories division showed a 13.6% increase, contributing significantly to the house's record revenues. The brand maintains an operating margin above 40%, a figure virtually unheard of in luxury retail, while sitting on net cash reserves exceeding 10 billion euros, rivaling even LVMH Group's financial strength. This financial strength positioned Hermès perfectly for the quiet luxury movement that exploded in 2023. When HBO's Succession sparked mainstream appreciation for understated elegance over logo-heavy displays, Hermès did not need to adapt because it was already there, alongside other quiet luxury pioneers like Loro Piana, Brunello Cucinelli, and the Row. The Roy family's preference for refined, logo-free fashion reflected values Nichanian had been championing for decades. Her timing for departure was as considered as everything else she did. She said Hermès was gracious enough to let her choose the moment that felt right to step away, and that now felt like the right time to pass the baton. After discussing succession plans for several years with CEO Axel Dumas and artistic director Pierre-Alexis Dumas, she orchestrated her exit with characteristic precision. The fashion industry expected Hermès to play it safe with succession planning. Internal candidates like Benjamin Brett, who joined from Yves Saint Laurent in 2010, seemed like natural choices. Luxury experts predicted continuity over radical change, especially given the ready-to-wear business's robust performance. But Hermès had other plans. Grace Wales Bonner represents everything Nichanian's appointment wasn't. Where Nichanian was an unknown quantity building something from scratch, Wales Bonner arrives as one of fashion's most celebrated emerging talents. Born in 1990 in Southeast London to English and Caribbean parents, she graduated from Central St. Martin's in 2014 and immediately began accumulating accolades. Her trajectory has been meteoric by any standard. The Emerging Menswear Designer Award at the 2015 British Fashion Awards was followed by the prestigious LVMH Young Designer Prize in 2016, worth €300,000 plus mentorship. The CFDA International Men's Designer of the Year Award came in 2021. She was named a member of the Order of the British Empire for services to fashion in 2022, and she won British Menswear Designer of the Year at the 2024 Fashion Awards. But Wales Bonner's real breakthrough came through an unlikely partnership. Her collaboration with Adidas, launched at London Fashion Week in 2020, did not just create successful products, it triggered a cultural phenomenon. Since 2020, she has designed 25 sneakers with Adidas, all selling out almost immediately. The collaboration sparked a 13,227% surge in global searches for the Samba silhouette, and it helped Adidas swing from a €377 million loss to a €57 million profit. This commercial success stems from Wales Bonner's unique design philosophy. Her work blends sportswear and tailoring with what she calls broad cultural research, an approach that explores identity, music, art, and African diaspora influences. Her designs have been worn by Meghan Markle, Lewis Hamilton, and Zendaya, establishing her celebrity credentials alongside her critical acclaim. Her 2019 exhibition, A Time for New Dreams, at London's Serpentine Gallery demonstrated her curatorial instincts, weaving together fashion, literature, and visual art into coherent narratives. Years before the Hermès opportunity arose, Wales Bonner had articulated exactly where she wanted her career to lead. She said a dream of hers would be to work with a tailoring brand, because tailoring is at the core of what she was doing. Maybe a brand like Hermès, or even a Savile Row tailoring house. The universe, it seems, was listening. Her appointment signals Hermès' confidence in evolution rather than revolution. Pierre-Alexis Dumas, the house's artistic director, explains the choice. Grace's appetite and curiosity for artistic practice strongly resonate with Hermès' creative mindset and approach. Her take on contemporary fashion, craft, and culture will contribute to shaping Hermès men's style, melding the house's heritage with a confident look on the now. The transition itself exemplifies Hermès' approach to major changes: deliberate, respectful, and strategically planned. Nichanian presented her final collection on January 24, 2026, during Paris Men's Fashion Week, receiving a 5-minute standing ovation from an audience that included Paul Smith, James McAvoy, Chase Crawford, Travis Scott, and Usher. As Eric Clapton's Forever Man played and screens showed loops of her runway bows throughout the decades, she walked the runway one last time, grinning and waving like royalty. The show itself was vintage Nichanian, sophisticated without being showy, innovative within the bounds of wearability. She included pieces from across her tenure: the 2003 pinstriped leather suit, the 1991 calfskin jumpsuit, and garments from 2001 and 2010. This was to prove how timeless Hermès clothing is, she explained. Even in Goodbye, she was making a point about longevity over trend. Wales Bonner will not present her first collection until January 2027, giving her a full year to transition into the role. The Spring-Summer 2027 collection will be created by Hermès' in-house studio, ensuring continuity during the handover period. This extended timeline reflects the house's commitment to getting the transition right rather than rushing it. The new creative director faces unique pressures and opportunities. She must honor the codes Nichanian established while bringing her own vision to bear. Executive Vice President Eric Duhalgouet sees natural connections between the two designers. Grace has a lot in common with Véronique, her love of craftsmanship and her very contemporary outlook on fashion. She will be bringing her own signature to a new chapter for men's ready-to-wear. Industry analysts remain cautiously optimistic about the change. Luca Solca of Bernstein notes, "I see this as a natural transition, and I don't attach great consequence to the change." Creative directors will continue to have limited visibility at Hermès, as the brand prevails more than at other houses. This institutional strength, where the house identity supersedes individual personality, may prove Wales Bonner's greatest asset. The appointment also carries symbolic weight beyond fashion. As the first Black woman to head design at a major luxury house, Wales Bonner's role represents progress in an industry historically resistant to diversity. Her designs, which explore themes of identity and cultural heritage, could introduce new perspectives to Hermès' traditionally conservative aesthetic without compromising its essential character. Wales Bonner will retain her eponymous label alongside her Hermès responsibilities. She originally focused on menswear. She expanded into womenswear in 2018, and she now leads both divisions. This parallel practice could enrich her work at Hermès, bringing insights from different markets and customer bases to inform her approach. The challenges ahead are significant. Wales Bonner must navigate the expectations of Hermès' sophisticated clientele while potentially attracting new customers who connect with her cultural perspective. She must balance innovation with the timeless quality that defines Hermès, pushing boundaries without breaking them. Her predecessor set a formidable standard. Nichanian's 37-year tenure created not just commercial success, but cultural impact. She proved that quiet excellence could compete with flashy marketing, that understated design could generate billions in revenue, that respecting customers' intelligence was more powerful than talking down to them. As Wales Bonner prepares for her debut, the fashion world watches with unusual attention. This isn't just another creative director appointment, it's a test case for how legacy luxury houses can evolve while maintaining their essence. If she succeeds, she could redefine what's possible for both Hermès and the broader industry. Nichanian isn't disappearing entirely. She'll remain with Hermès, overseeing men's accessories and silk, ensuring continuity in those crucial categories. "I will continue to work on men's silk and leather, but I am stopping ready to wear. And that is a whole chapter of my life," she explained. It's a graceful way to maintain connection while allowing space for new voices. When January 2027 arrives and Wales Bonner presents her first collection, it will mark more than just a seasonal showing. It will represent the culmination of a transition that began in 1988 when a young designer accepted an impossible challenge and spent 37 years making it look effortless. The baton passes not just from one creative director to another, but from one vision of masculinity to another, from one generation's definition of luxury to the next. This handover reveals something essential about enduring success in luxury. It's not about dramatic gestures or revolutionary moments. It's about understanding your customer so deeply that innovation feels inevitable rather than forced. Véronique Nichanian mastered this principle. Now Grace Wales Bonner must make it her own.